After 3 boys and over 10 years of baby monitors in our house, we've gone from those old grainy video baby monitors to high-tech smart Wi-Fi monitors, and now we're circling back to a new generation of non-Wi-Fi baby monitors. We've been using the BabySense Pro, a non-Wi-Fi baby monitor, for over a month now. This video is sponsored by BabySense, but as always, all opinions are my own. Here are the 5 questions I'd want answered before buying. Why would you buy a non-Wi-Fi baby monitor? If you're considering a non-Wi-Fi baby monitor, you're not alone. And if you're not, I think by the end of this video, you might be. Over the last 10 years, we've gone from basic baby monitors to smart Wi-Fi monitors with apps, notifications, sleep tracking, and just about every feature you could imagine. Like a lot of parents, that's the direction we went. So I'll admit, I assumed a non-Wi-Fi monitor was a step backwards. It wasn't. For me, there are 2 big reasons to consider a non-Wi-Fi monitor: simplicity and security. The Pro is a true plug-and-play system. There isn't a setup process. If the camera has power and the monitor has power, you're done. I plugged the camera into the wall, turned on the monitor, and instantly had video. No app, no accounts, no Wi-Fi, no pairing. It was ready before I even had time to think about it. The other reason is security. Because it never connects to the internet, a lot of parents appreciate the added privacy and peace of mind that comes with that. But what surprised me most wasn't what it could do. It was what it didn't ask me to do. I expected to miss the smart features a lot more than I actually did. Instead, I found myself appreciating a baby monitor that wasn't asking me to manage one more piece of technology. It just did exactly what I needed it to do: monitor the baby. What makes the BabySense Pro different? The feature I ended up appreciating the most on the BabySense Pro was the split screen monitor. And I actually think there are 2 completely different ways to use it. The first is probably the most obvious. If you've got 2 young kids in different rooms, you can keep an eye on both of them from a single monitor. When our oldest 2 boys were little, they're less than 2 years apart. And honestly, we would have loved having something like this. But that's actually not how we've been using it. Instead, we've got 2 cameras in River's room, one mounted overhead looking into his bed and another in the corner of the room. The overhead camera gives us that perfect bird's eye view while he's sleeping, but the second camera lets us see the rest of the room. He's already in a toddler bed, and every once in a while he decides it's time for a little midnight tour of his room. Having that second camera means we can still keep an eye on him instead of wondering where he wandered off to. It can actually support up to 4 cameras too. So if your family grows or you eventually want cameras in another bedroom or even a playroom, you don't have to start over with an entirely new system. The other thing that genuinely surprised me was the picture quality. I think I'd convinced myself that because this wasn't a Wi-Fi monitor, the picture quality was going to be one of the compromises. It wasn't. After looking into it, I actually learned why. The Pro displays in true 1080p, while a lot of non-Wi-Fi monitors are still using lower resolution displays. I didn't know that while I was testing it. I just know it looked surprisingly good. Turns out there was actually a reason. And honestly, I'd put it right alongside, if not slightly ahead, of the smart Wi-Fi monitor we've been using in our house. The image is crisp, the night vision is excellent, and even with both cameras on the 5.5-inch monitor at the same time, I never felt like I was sacrificing image quality. I kept waiting for the moment where I would think, okay, this is where you see the difference. It never came. Real quick, if you want buying guides and reviews from a dad who actually lives with this stuff, hit subscribe now. All right, question 3. Do I need a breathing or breathing motion monitor? No. Could it give you a little more peace of mind at night? I think for a lot of parents it does. That's really why products like this exist. I remember the first night our youngest, River, slept in his crib in his own room. We had one of those smart Wi-Fi baby monitors, and we'd both be staring at our phones, but no matter how far you zoom in, you still can't quite see that tiny little chest rise and fall. And then my wife would whisper, "Go make sure he's okay." If you've ever found yourself quietly walking into the nursery just to make sure your baby was still breathing, you get it. The BabySense 7 sits underneath your baby's mattress and monitors your baby's breathing movements without attaching anything to your baby. If it detects that those breathing movements stop or slow down in a way that risks the baby, it sounds an alarm. For some parents, that's unnecessary. For others, that extra peace of mind is worth every penny. And ultimately, that's a decision that only you can make. Will it work throughout my house? Our house is about 4,500 square feet, and River's nursery is upstairs on the complete opposite side of the house from our bedroom. We've never had an issue with the signal. What I didn't expect is how nice it's been to take with us. We brought it to Grandma and Grandpa's house, and on the 4th of July, we were standing out in the driveway watching fireworks while River was asleep inside, and the monitor never skipped a beat. We've also used it in hotels between adjoining rooms, so River could nap in one room while the big boys, Mom and I, could still relax in the room next door. Out of curiosity, I even took the monitor down to my parents' room further down the hallway just to see how far the signal would reach. It still worked perfectly. The range isn't unlimited, and I wouldn't expect it to be, but if you keep walking away from the camera, eventually you'll lose the signal. We just never found ourselves in a practical situation where that happened. Are there any ongoing fees? No. Once you buy it, you're done. And honestly, I really appreciate that. There aren't any subscriptions to unlock features later. You buy the monitor, you own the monitor, and every feature is available from day one. Maybe I'm just getting old, but I miss the days when buying something meant you actually owned it. It feels like more and more products want to become another monthly bill. I like that this one doesn't. Hopefully one of those answers helped you decide if the BabySense Pro is the right fit for your family. That's exactly why I make these videos. We don't do unboxings around here. We use products in our home first, then we tell you what we learned. If that's the kind of content you're looking for, I'd love to have you subscribe.